The joys of the evening went beyond words. After the speeches came a concert. A traditional Turkish ensemble, plus renowned artist Ismail Çimen, were led by Maestro Feridun Ozgoren. Their performance left the audience speechless.
To learn more about the Prophet Muhammad and Islam. I think the dialogue between the faiths, particularly the Abrahamic faith, is very important. I want to be part of it.
Islam and Muslims are less familiar to us in the United States, generally in Boston, and to have this kind of a dinner with all of the graciousness that it shows. It's a very special occasion.
I didn't realize how many people were going to come out. I thought it was going to be a little, not this many people. So seeing all kinds of walks of life around, talking to different cultures, religions, was really cool to see and interact with a lot of people and learn their different views on our culture and our prophet and to see what they learned and didn't, basically.
I liked very much the way the first speaker, Dr. Dorothy Buck, emphasized that we hold the prophetic element in common. Jews, Christians, Muslims, we have that element totally in common. And I liked the way the second speaker, your very, very famous doctor who in fact taught this Imam, Ibrahim Sayer, who was able to show how the life of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was a life that is exemplary for all humanity.
And I'd like very much to see more young people getting together to have dialogue, because they're really the future of our world. And so the degree to which we could perhaps have, I was glad to see a number of children here, but to promote some intercultural youth events would be absolutely wonderful, and I'd like to help with that if I could.
We were very quiet. There's no point of being quiet. You got to talk. You got to create a dialogue. You got to affect and explain, because we're obviously very misunderstood, and that's the catch.
I think you're reaching out to the people and doing a fine job of getting them to understand Islam. And the more you do it over a broader area, I think the more Americans will be comfortable with and understanding Islam.
I would like to be part of a Passover event or some Easter event, that it shouldn't necessarily be only about us, but I would also want to know their cultures as well too. So I think that would be very helpful.
You need to get in contact with loving hearts, God-loving souls, and come together with them and try to establish peace islands around the world. And I certainly hope that we are doing the right job of.
Learning about one another comes easy in an atmosphere of joy. Next, we stop in Flushing, New York, for a gathering that was all heart.
It could have been Istanbul. Instead, it was New York. Capacity numbers gathered at Queen's College to celebrate the birthday of the Prophet Muhammad. Turkish Americans from across the tri-state came together to share in the happiness of their culture. Vendors served up delights, matched only by mother's cooking. Sami Savni Ozen is a legend of Turkish Sufi music. The highlight of the evening, his performance was enrapturing. These were classic tunes drawn from the experience of a people and their love of the greatest personality of their faith. A symbol of togetherness, of affection for family and every neighbor. They call him the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
Last but not least, we visit the City of Angels. There, the diversity and openness of California were on display, as crowds enjoyed performances of a spiritual turn.
What better place than Los Angeles, City of Dreams, to witness the power of art to bring people together? This spring, the dialogue group Global Cultural Connections invited the Whirling Dervishes to town. People piled into the stately Bovard Auditorium to share an appreciation of the transcendent. Everyday citizens mingled with diplomats and top celebrities. There was, of course, a purpose behind the excitement and glamour. Members of Global Cultural Connections set the evening's tone.
Who is Rumi? Now, if you go back 800 years ago, Rumi was born in Balkh, Afghanistan, and he was also widely known as Mevlana in Turkey. He was a jurist in Islamic law, a professor, a prolific writer of not only poems, but also well-written analogies, and a mystic of Islam. Well, Sufism regards every act of God as a window to see Him, and enables one to live with a profound awareness of being continually overseen by Him. Sufism is based on observing even the most trivial rules of Islam in order to penetrate their inner meaning. And the first and foremost concept of Sufism is wakefulness.
Watching the dervishes can be an amazing experience. To prepare the audience was one of LA's own. Alex Demir, star of television and the silver screen, led a skit that explained, while saving all the wonder.